Hey guys, Derry here, and welcome back to GregTech. We have made the industrial sawmill now, so we can actually cross that off completely on the list here. Which leaves us with the industrial grinder and the biodiesel production facility of stuff that we can do pretty much instantly. If you look over here, I've replaced the silly planks with the scaffolding now. It looks a lot better. There's a good bit of water in here. And I found that basically using only 4 cells, as long as there's water in there, we can pretty much have the sawmill running continuously. Like, the time it takes for it to saw up 1 set of planks is about the same time it takes, or saw up the 3 sets of planks is about the same time it takes for a water cell to return throughout the system with the gold pipes now. So whenever the last one here is about to be done, a new one pops in, so it can continue working. It does use quite a bit of power, but hopefully before long we can actually reach a state where we're not just using power, but actually, you know, producing a bit of surplus as well. But yeah, the sawmill is up and running and it's working beautifully, as you can see here. I've been cutting up a lot of acacia, you know, just to, because it's a nice wood. I like it. Anyway, another thing I have been doing is I've been grinding up diamonds. We needed diamond dust, and I didn't have any like old worn down diamond equipment I could grind up in the rock crushers, so I just decided, dang it, we're just gonna grind up some diamonds. So I have 2 industrial diamonds that I've been preparing, and hopefully somewhere I should have some steel plates as well. Yeah, there we are. Because for the industrial grinder, we need to make these diamond grinders. We can't make the wolfranium grinders yet. We don't have that stuff. But as you can see, industrial diamond, 4 dust, and a steel plate gives us 2 of them. And we need to make two recipes to get the 3 we have, and then we'll have 1 in surplus, which it's never fun to have stuff like this in surplus, but whatever. I should have 1 more diamond dust somewhere. Yeah, there we are. And then steel in the circle. Put that in there, and then the 2 diamonds. Fancy grinding head. So with this, we should be able to pretty much copy the sawmill recipe, remove these 3, put these in. I just tossed one on the ground for some reason. And in the other corner we need the industrial electrolyzer I made earlier. And this gives us the industrial grinder / Ultimacetron 42B. Now this thing, again, if I recall correctly, it needs a specific number of these casings. It needs 8 8 reinforced, it needs 18 standard, and it needs a bucket of water, if I am not completely mistaken. So let's put that to the test and see if we can, you know, just steal a bucket of water out of this thing quickly. There we are. I need to like make a little staircase or something to get back there, or potentially just take this pipe down so it goes into front of the chest and I can just jump over it. But no matter. Let us set this thing up. So these in the bottom, these in a circle. Once we set the thing up, we should be able to confirm it. This one in there, and then fill that up. And then we can take the industrial grinder, and this thing here is actually very clever because we can attach up to 4 grinders on it. So we could put 1 back there. I don't think we'll ever have the power to use, or well, actually hold on, I needed to turn that thing. Where is my wrench? It needs to face that way. There we are. It's lighting up green. You can see reinforced with the blue thing in the middle, and then 9 on each layer, so it's correct now. We need some power for it, so 4 bits of copper cables should be able to do that. I have 5 right here, so almost perfect. I really need to make some more copper cables soon enough. We're gonna run out of it without. So, as you can see, 83 recipes. It has a lot of recipes. A lot of them use water as the lubricant here, but there are some of them which, like this one here, uses either mercury, or it could use, for instance, let's see what this is, sodium persulfate, and gives us an increased amount of zinc from the stuff compared to like the normal recipes, which gives just a small pile. But yeah, the name of the game for the industrial grinder is byproducts. So where it doesn't really give as much like beryllium, small pile of emerald dust here, so it actually gives 2.5 emeralds if you count the dust as a full emerald. But some of it just gives like the purified galena ore here, which you can then macerate for, or you can rock crush it. So for some of them it makes a lot of sense to use this one first, then put the crushed stuff in the rock crusher, and then kind of advance from there. But in order to like determine the best solution, like you can see here, this makes a lot of sense to use black granite here and get a small pile of thorium dust, because I think thorium is actually really difficult to get otherwise. So like thorium ingots, which is it used for anything in particular? Not the ingot alone, but the plate might be. Nope, not at all actually. What is thorium used for? Anything? Nope. Alright, so it does make a lot of sense. But if you needed thorium for some reason, it would make a lot of sense. The same goes for the rubies here, because the reason you gather rubies is to get chrome dust. So if we click uses on ruby ore here, you can see if we find the industrial grinder here, there's only the one recipe. Using water as lubricant, you can get half a pile of chrome dust from every single ruby you find, whereas if you wanted just one chrome dust from rubies, you would need to grind up, let's see exactly how many, 6 of them. So yeah, using just one or 1 or 2 to get chrome is actually a really good way to do it. But again, the best way to refine each ore depends on the specific ore that you have. And this one of course also needs lubricant. So we might need to set up even more of those Railcraft water towers. But we'll see about that. Let us actually go have a look at what ores we have, because I think I've used all the zinc I had available to me to make the brass gears, the cobalt brass. Luckily I do have some sphalerite here, which again, it has a chance of giving zinc in the rock crusher, but if we put it in the industrial grinder instead, and we use sodium persulfate, we can actually get like a full piece of zinc from each ore, as well as 2 extra from the purified ore here. And a small pile of yellow garnet dust, which you can see contains a lot of stuff, among which is chromium. So that's quite efficient. But again, sodium persulfate, how do I actually get this recipe? You get compressed air, sodium sulfate, I'm thinking natrium because natrium is how you say it in Denmark. Na, natrium. So sulfur and sodium gives sodium sulfate. We can make this pretty easily. And then actually, you know, it's again, it's a bit of a power investment to get this stuff, but let's actually do some chemistry for now. So we get the sphalerite, and we get, do we have anything over here we need? Don't think so, nope. We do have a lot of sodium, we do have a lot of sulfur, it's just located over here instead. Compressed air, easy enough to get as well, it's just a bit. So sodium, and where do we have the sulfur? Right there. Then we need to toss it into cells, so that means we need the canning machine over here, which has a bit of food in. So let's get 2 of each, I think, is what we needed. Now the canning machine here doesn't take long at all to finish this stuff. So 2 of those, 2 of those. Grab that, and then we can toss it in here. And then we also need to get a couple of cells of just pure oxygen. I think we needed 4 of those, so... hold on. Actually, I think we need the compressor for that, to be honest. Let us quickly have a look, see if that works. So if we just put these in the compressor, they should fill up with air. In the meantime, let us actually make the chemical reactions here. Sulfur and sodium together should give sodium sulfate, I guess, or sulfide, yeah. And then 4 of these, you know, we can we can waste a bit of fuel and get them the other way as well, or you know, we can compound them with the compressed air and get the sodium persulfate, which is exactly what we want. Hold on, there we are. Okay, it just kind of didn't update. There is something with GregTech in that I think it has a very large focus on not lagging, and that means that sometimes stuff is actually really slow to update. But yeah, we get the compressed air here, so let's take these 2 and get the reaction started over here. Not the empty ones, these ones. We should have enough power to do this, no worries. And again, what if we can get like a nice nuclear reactor set up soon enough? We have a lot of crucible actually, because I haven't been able to burn it since I haven't moved the generator over just yet. So that'll, once we have that and the bioplant that we've planned, I think I'm gonna put the biofuel plant downstairs over in this corner or something like that. It doesn't take a lot of space and it doesn't really need to be accessed. It just, We just need a chest so that can stuff stuff into it, and then basically we'll get power out for free without doing anything. So this reaction here, as you can see, takes some time. Let me actually just quickly check exactly how long. It'll take 100 seconds for each of them. It's nearly taken 100 seconds already, but in the meantime, let's go fill these up with water. Actually, hold on. Let us instead go in here and look at the grinder to see what other recipes we have, because there are some of them that are, again, very interesting. I think one of the things that actually works the best for a lot of things is we have mercury already. So you can see mercury for galena ore gives us the purified galena ore, and it gives us silver dust. So the reason you have galena ore in the first place is to get as much silver dust as you can. So using mercury here is actually a really good idea. Besides, mercury is also a byproduct from some of the recipes that I've been making. If we look further on, you can see redstone ore. You can get cinnabar and glowstone out of it. Iron ore. There's a bit of different stuff you can do with that. You can get a large pile of nickel dust if you have sodium sulfate again. With, let's see what else we have. Actually, mercury seems to be used a lot. Like, you can get gold out of netherrack pretty easily. This is not one piece, by the way. It's another bug recipe. It's 16. So let's see here. Let's see, lapis lazuli in here. 16 small piles, or 36 small piles rather. So again, that's 9 dust that you get without having to macerate it. Normally, you would be very lucky to get what's pretty much equivalent to, like, see, 9 there, 6 there, and 2 there. So yeah, 17 bits of lapis from 1, pretty much. You don't get that normally. Malachite ore, you can get an extra bit of malachite, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. There is the black granite, which gives you thorium. There's the red granite, which gives you something else. You can use mercury to get gold out of copper ore. Or you can use sodium persulfate instead to get extra copper. Okay. So like, yeah, it depends. You can get uranium out of red granite. Alright, well that's kind of useful. It's only a tiny bit though, so not a lot. And besides, it will poison you if you pick it up if you don't have the hazmat suit on. Netherrack dust, out of that. Coal ore, you can get stuff like lignite coal dust, which you can actually use to... What can I actually do with the lignite here? You can combine into a full block, which you can then electrolyze to get water, dark ashes, and carbon dust. That makes... not a big deal. Further on here, like, this is one of the more interesting machines there is, but it's also one of the ones that require quite a bit of attention to actually use correctly. I think we're getting close to where we were now. Again, amber, you can get a bunch of amber dust out of it. Sapphires, get some extra sapphires, some aluminium out of it. I think bauxite is one of the more interesting ones in here as well. If we can find it. Oh, iridium is the really interesting one. As you can see here, iridium, if you just put it in here, you get a bit of extra iridium dust, you get iridium ore, and 2 small piles of platinum. If you then use mercury, you can get big piles of platinum dust. And that actually reminds me one of the reasons I made this, because we have a bit of iridium ore, and we have mercury. So without waiting for the reactor there, which is still working, I can see, we can actually toss these 2 mercury cells and these iridium in here. And we can get some platinum. Now, platinum is not something we need right now, but in the very near future, it's going to be very, very valuable, if I recall correctly, because platinum plate, as you can see here, item pipes, but it's also used for the nano saber, which is like one of the best weapons in the game. It's used for the quantum tank, which I guess can contain a lot of stuff. And assembly machine processor circuit board, highly advanced circuit plate, which is then used to make data control circuits, along with data storage circuit, data control, which is used for the advanced drill, advanced machine casings. Now this is a big one. Tesseract terminal scanners. It's used in fusion reactors. It's used in the extruder, thermal boiler. You know, all this really high-tech stuff that we can only dream of right now. So platinum is fantastic. And just to update it there to actually see what we have in here. So we have these small piles of iridium dust. I guess we can combine those up to iridium full dust. And we can just melt that to get ingots. And I think iridium is really what you want for it is plates. Yeah, what you want is plates, I think. And then you can make all sorts of different stuff with it. You can make locks for your machines. That's not really what we want. You can make iridium alloy, which you can implosion compress to make reinforced iridium plates, which are used for, again, a bunch of really high-tech stuff. So yeah, very, very impressive stuff. Let's put that in there. I think the platinum was also, it's not used in any alloy, so let's just melt it up. And the iridium itself, we can toss in with the rest. 10 pieces. Excellent. Now, hopefully, the reactor should be near done here. Yeah, we have 6. And we can toss that in here. And then hopefully we should get a bunch of zinc out of this. Like, zinc is something that I've been, you know... We get the small piles of yellow garnet dust. Very useful. It has a lot of different stuff in it, most of important, which is the chromium. We get zinc dust, and we get the purified sphalerite ore, which we can then crush one more time to get even more yellow garnet dust. And the purified pile of sphalerite dust, which we can then centrifuge to get even more garnet dust out of, and then we can finally electrolyze it to get the zinc and the sulfur. It's a long process. And yeah, but again, it allows us to get stuff that we wouldn't have before, and the grinder here, as I've mentioned already, it is the king of byproducts. The king. There is no one above it. It is the king. Simply because you always know exactly what you're gonna get. You don't have to rely on any sort of random chance. So yellow garnet dust here, you can see centrifuge 16 of them to get grossular, androdite, and uvarovite dust uses. Which is then can get you chromium, calcium, all sorts of good stuff, silicon, and some compressed air cells. So I should actually start saving those, maybe, you know, for chemical reactions. But yeah, so far so good. We have zinc now, which we can make even more brass with, should we desire. We get yellow garnet dust, sulfur dust, get that back in there, and then we have the purified sphalerite, which can go right into the rock crusher, which I need to move. And since it's pretty much empty right now, we might as well move it since, well, yeah. There's no power generation going on right now, so we won't be losing anything by moving it. And I kind of want it closer to where we work, you know. So, let's see, in the back hall, do we want to place it all the way up against the wall? No, we don't. I think... Let us put it here, so that we can actually walk around it and potentially put stuff behind it that we don't want in front. So we have the grinding room in here, we have the not so often used machine room in here with the sawmill and the implosion compressor, and we have the heavy metal workshop in here. So yeah, we gotta get a jukebox in here and get some tunes on, you know, heavy metal. That's needed. We could have like a little, whenever you enter the room, there's pressure plates here in each doorway, and then it just turns on the music, and it doesn't turn off again until you step on the pressure plate again. That's actually really easy to do. You just make a monostable circuit and connect, or a T flip-flop actually. Monostable circuit and a T flip-flop, and then you can turn on the music. Turn up the radio. I need to figure out exactly what I want to do. Yeah. Get that in there. Bam. I want to do something else for this, so let's go out actually and remove the sign from the thing out here, because it's no longer relevant. We have the industrial grinder. So that means next on the list is the biodiesel production facility, and there is also one more thing on the list that I haven't mentioned. In here, I have some cows, by the way. They came wandering in and I started breeding them. In here I have a saddle. I have some apples, and, well, that's about it, really. I think I also have a piece of... Do I not have horse armor? No, I guess I don't. I thought I had a piece of horse armor. Yeah, there we are. So, horse armor, saddle, and if I can spare the wood here, a boat. Because I want a horse. I have been living a long time without a horse, and living without a horse in Minecraft is perfectly doable, but since they're in the game, I really want one. Now, I know for a fact that up in this direction, behind that mountain over there, is a biome that has horses in. It's a long ride to get there. It's also a long boat trip, but the day has just started, and I feel, hey, it's a beautiful day, let's go grab a horse. It's something I've been putting off for a while, and I think we can just kind of squeeze it in here. It's, again, to take it off my to-do list, so let's get the boat out in the water, and set sail! Ahoy! Ahoy! I don't know, I really don't know what happened to my voice there. I was trying to say ahoy and it just didn't work. But, yeah, I've been exploring this world quite a bit, I must admit. In pretty much every direction. I've been looking for specific biomes and such to find the GregTech specific ores. I have been looking for, you know, rare types of wood. Ooh, a butterfly. Those are forestry butterflies. That spawn because I have forestry trees somewhere. And they tend to just kind of fly away and then end up over water somehow. I don't know quite why. But in any case, to continue my train of thought, I have been exploring quite a bit with various purposes, but one of which was to get the special types of trees and such. Another purpose to my exploration, of course, has been to get chromium and manganese for making stainless steel and stuff. But there is one realization that I have made during this exploration. There are two, actually. The first one is that the spot I settled in is very much not the prettiest spot on the server. There are many other spots that are just spark the imagination much more. But there is one really good thing about the spot that we settled in, and that is the way that I'm building up my base now makes it very simple for me to transfer it over to another world once GregTech and the other mods I'm using update to 1.7. Which will happen. GregTech is already out in a very early alpha version for 1.7, and once it's fully released and the various bugs have been fixed, I'm probably going to wait a week or so after the first release just to get the worst bugs out of the way. I will then update the mod pack to 1.7, provided that, you know, I can get the mods, all the mods. Bauxite, right there. Once this happens, I will need to change worlds, because I'm using a very old version of ATG, I'm using an old version of Biomes O Plenty, and whenever you update either of those mods, they tend to pretty much fuck up the world that you have. I'm saying that in the nicest way possible. They do really fuck up the world you have. Which means that generally you don't update those mods if you have a world you want to keep. But updating to a new version of Minecraft, yeah, that always entails a new world. So basically what will happen once that time arrives is that I will take my base in MC Edit, save it as a schematic or something, and then I will make a new world within the new 1.7 mod pack I'll put together, and I will explore it a bit, see if I can find a decent spot that that fits in with the geography and such that I have, and then I will copy over the old base and we can continue from where we left off, hopefully. Chances are, because GregTech's adding a lot of new stuff, like the new wires and such, that the base will not be in completely top shape when we do get it in. So I'll have to not rebuild part of it, but put down new wires and such. But hopefully I can do that on camera, and it'll actually, you know, be poison ivy, and it'll actually be, you know, worth watching. But we'll see about that. Now I'm gonna pause the recording until I find a horse, because I'm just talking out of my ass right now. This biome over here, by the way, has the horses. I took a long way around, I can see that now, but whatever. But yeah, see you guys in just a second. And look at this magnificent steed we have right here. Isn't he beautiful? Or she? I have no clue. Let us start to try and tame him. He actually doesn't have that much health. I'm just gonna try see this horse up here if he has more health. Like generally, I don't think there's much speed difference in the horses, but they do have a health difference. This one's much tougher. As you can see, the orange hearts on the right. There's a full line and then 4 extras. So now we just need to break him. Make him love me. There you are. There we go, now you love me. So I can get off, I can attach that and that, and there we have my beautiful steed. We need a name for him. I'm gonna leave the naming of the horse up to you guys. One of you is bound to have a name for him. He's a strong fella. He's also pretty quick. And there's a lot of other horses here, actually. We should have brought a lead or something so we could bring another one back, just so we had a breeding pair in case we needed extra horses. I'll probably come up here and pick up a horse before next recording session, and then, you know, have two back home, and then potentially we could breed them or something. But yeah, I'm gonna, you know, ride across the mountain here, get this beautiful creature home, and then I do have a couple of name tags back home. So if you guys can come up with a really good horse name, put it in the comments. I'll pick the best one, and that shall be the name of the horse. With one exception, I'm not gonna call him Dickbutt. So until next time, I'm Jerry, riding a horse in Minecraft in GregTech, and I'll see you next time. Bye!